Hey, it's Rich, the Louisiana Hobby Guy. Tonight's going to be a short video. I promise you it's going to be a short video. I want to share with you my prep, how I go about prepping for a particular job. So it's only going to be, on one function of Lightburn, which is going to be serial numbers. So a little background on this. I have some government contracts that I've done for vehicle tags that I do. You've heard me talk about the anodized aluminum business cards in the past. Well, I really don't do many business cards, but what I do are nameplates. So I'll go ahead and engrave whatever the customer wants on the plate, drill out the amount of holes. Sometimes it's 4 holes, sometimes it's 2 that they need, and in some cases even install it, with a rivet gun. So that's what tonight's video is going to be about. Local shipyard contacted me. Last year I did 280 lockers for them with locker number, division number, section number on them. And I did them all on these anodized aluminum business cards. So they called me back. They're having a change to their database. They have 54 vehicles and they want these tags for the inside of the door panel. They want me to actually make them, drill them out, come out, and rivet them to the vehicles. They have 54 on-site, non-registered vehicles that they want to tag with this. And somebody's creating a new database over there, and they want all these vehicle numbers are all different numbers. So they want me to start from 1, and there's going to be 54 of them. So I'm going to show you how I set up for that tonight in case you ever have a job where you have to do serial numbers. Let's jump right into it, and I'll show you what I do. Okay, so over here in Lightburn, we're going to get set up for the job, and this is going to go rather quick. Oh, you know what? There was one thing I wanted to mention. Tonight I was a guest on the Worldwide Woodturners Zoom meeting, which, as I understand, could have up hundreds of people in this meeting at a time. And they brought me on to talk about laser engraving because they're just starting to get into it. So I know that a lot of people out there that watch my channel are into many different hobbies. I myself, I'm into wood turning, woodworking, laser engraving, 3D printing, CNC, and the list goes on. And I know that a lot of you are the same. So if you're into wood turning, these guys have a meeting every Wednesday night live on Zoom. Anybody can join, and I would go check it out. Their website is worldwidewoodturners.org, and their Zoom meeting is every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Central Time. So if you're into wood turning, go check them out. And don't forget, Wood Turning is the YouTube channel. So let's get started on the template now. Now, these particular business cards that I use for this project I know that they're 50 by 80. I've done so many of them, so in millimeters. So I'm going to draw out a rectangle, put it on the black layer. I'm going to come over here and put the layer into line mode. And then I'm going to come in millimeters right here. I'm going to come over here to the lock button. I'm going to unlock it. I'm going to put the width in at 80 and press tab. And I'm going to put the height in at 50 and press enter. And then I'll just go ahead and relock it. Now I have the exact size of my anodized business card. So I can't really say the name of the company because that would be a violation of their privacy. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do something fictitious, and then I'll actually go back and create the template with the real information. So I just have any old graphic here, a little picture of a laser, and we'll pretend that this is their logo, and we'll put it over here into our workspace. And I'll get it somewhat aligned. This is just a demonstration, so it doesn't really matter if it's aligned or not. But a key thing to aligning is using your control key on your keyboard when you can't quite get it to go where you want it to. And then I want you to look at, you see this, these dots right here, the handles. So you have one over here, one over here. Now if I hold down Control and use my arrow key, I can move that so that it's right there on the line. Move this one very, little by little till it's right on the line. And I know that's, perfectly cornered for a logo. So that's just a little tip there. So now I'm just going to put anything in here. I think I'll put in here like shipyard as an example. Okay, and we'll just shrink this down a bit. And we'll pretend like, this is the company name. Stick it in there. And then what I'm going to do is take a little more text. I'm going to do something slightly different this time. I'm going to type in here the number 0. And I'm going to put D and D. And the reason for this is I want a number and I want decimal. Okay? So I'm going to select this because I don't want to do these, go back and edit every single one of them and change the number. So up here in the text, where you see a line text, horizontal space, way up here, you'll see something that says normal. I'm going to pull that drop down. I'm going to go over here to serial number. Okay. We're going to hit serial number on that. So now we've just turned this into a serial number. And what I'm going to do is over here, I'm going to put vehicle number. Okay. As regular normal text. And I'm going to select this one and just bring it in here. We'll pretend like that's all perfectly centered and everything else, even though it's not. So now what I want to do is I want to tab over here. Let me come up to the window and I want to come down here to the very bottom where it says variable text. You see it right here? Variable text. I want to bring that tab out, that variable text, and I'm going to switch over to it. Now, this one I told you is a decimal, okay? Because I've put the letters DD. Now, you can do hexadecimal if you want. I'm choosing decimal for this. There are several different things you can do here. You can do date and time. You can do CSV and import a spreadsheet, cut settings. There's all types of things. But for this demonstration, we're going to do the serial number. And over here on the variable text tab, what I'm going to do is current is 0. We're going to start at the number 1. And we're going to end at the number 54 and advance by 1, okay? And the reason I'm doing this is because we want the numbers to be 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, and so on, all the way up to 54. I know I can't get 54 on my workbed. So the reason why I have to end at 54 is because we're going to automatically advance this by checking the auto advance section right here. So when we're finished with this job, all I have to do is come up here to next, click next. It'll remember where I left off, and then it'll repeat it for the rest of the 54. Okay? You'll see how that makes sense in just a minute. All right, so now I'm finished with my design, and I told you I'm going to make this quick. We're not going to get into all types of design features and things like that. Oh, so let's go ahead and test it real quick. So there, right here is a test button, and it says briefly show what it would look like. So I'm going to click on that, and you'll see that that decimal is now turned into vehicle number 01. Okay. So there we go. It tested just fine, and you pretty much want to make sure that you test it before you move on because you don't want to waste a whole bunch of time here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select this and I'm going to come down over here and I'm going to create an array. Now in the array tool, I am not going to use a virtual array. I'm just going to make my rows and columns. So what I'm going to do here now, I want to get as many as I can on this workbed. So I'm on the X, I'm going to click the up arrow right here and I'm going to get 4 across, and on the Y I'm going to also click the up arrow, and that's how many I can get. So I have 7 times 4, so I can get 28 on one sheet. That means I can do this in 2 sheets. I'll only have to advance next by 1 when I'm done. So now what I'm going to do is just say OK. And well, before we do anything, let's test it real quick. So now you see these all say 0DD, every one of them. Now, if you wanted to have, instead of 01, you could put 2 zeros here where it could be 001. Or you could put 3 there where it would be, you know, more, as many as you need. So what I'm going to do is come over here to where it says test. I'm just going to test it real quickly. I'm going to press my left mouse key. I'm going to hold it down. And you'll see that we have exactly what we're looking for here. Starts at the number 1, ends at the number 28. So we're good. So that worked good. Now I'll let go of the mouse key. It'll go back to the decimal. So one thing I do want to do is just center this just a little bit better. So I am going to grab this little guy over here, and oh, I forgot it's not in a virtual array. So what I'll do is I'll press Control and A, the letter A, select everything, and then I will come up here to the top left. Now I guess I could just hit, nope, that wouldn't work. To the top left, and I'm going to put in here, well, I can't do that either. So we'll select all, and we'll just move it by hand. And I think that's pretty good right there. I want to line it up with the grid over here. Well, this isn't the actual job, but this is where I would line up my template over here. But anyway, so this is good to go. Here's a final test. And now it's ready to burn. And if we come up here and preview this, you'll see that it will do all of these exactly like we're expecting it to. Very simple setup. Very easy video to follow, I hope. And if we've completed this job now, I have the auto advance ticked. So if I click next over here, and then once we finish this job, all I have to do is click next. We haven't run the job yet, so it's not working. And then you test it again, and you'll see that it'll advance again. So now, somehow or another, this number got to, so we're going to do current is 0. Come back to test, so that it starts at number 1. We definitely don't want to leave out that number 1. So this is all good. This is ready to go. Once we burn this job, then the next thing that we do is we come and hit next, and it will start the next job at number 29, 30, 31, 32. And that's the way the variable text works. And you can do as many of these jobs as you need to, as long as you put your end number in over here. So if your end number was 250, you know, you'd run this job, hit next, and then run the next section, and so on. And that is just how easy this is to do. This is a wonderful tool, the variable text. And I'm going to get this job done right after I finish this video. I have some 3D printing stuff. I'm working on my Anycubic over there in the back. I don't know if you can see it from here, but I've got it all apart. I've got to put a new fan in over there. And by the way, if you're into 3D printing, check out my friend over at Jerry over at 3D HP. He's got a great little channel. He's trying to grow it. He gives some really good information on 3D printing. He also has a Saturday meeting where, you know, a bunch of guys get online. Sometimes I go on there myself, and we talk about laser engraving and 3D printing and things like that. And he does 3D printer reviews. So if you're into 3D printing, check out my friend Jerry over at 3D HP. He's got a wealth of information over there. All right, so let's recap. So what we did was we drew out a rectangle to the size of our business card. We went ahead and used the decimal factor. We typed some text. We typed 0DD because we wanted a two-digit number. We went up into the text properties. We selected serial number with that text selected. So with that 0DD selected, we changed it from normal to serial number. Then what we did was we brought out the variable text tab by clicking on Window and down at the bottom variable text, and that came out onto our tabs. So at that point we set what is the current number. The current number is 0 because we wanted it to start at 1. The start number is 1. What was our end number? Whatever your end number needs to be. Mine was 54. You can do up to 999 numbers, and that's that's really nice to have. I doubt you're going to be doing more than that. But at that point, you're going to click Auto Advance if it's more than what fits on your work bed. Then you're going to do your burn after you've done your graphics and whatever. You're going to do your burn. Click the next button, and it will automatically advance to the next set of numbers. So if you had 100, for example, and you started at 0 and you ended at 100, when you finish, and let's say you got 50 of these on your workbed, when you finish that job burning those 50, all you do is click Next, put your material down on the bed, and hit Start, and it'll go 51, 52, 53, 54. That's the auto advance feature. And of course you want to have it set to advance by 1. And don't forget, I left out a part there. You have to create your array. So of how many you want. And that goes without say. I mean, you can't do this with 1. You could, but you're not going to waste your time doing that. Some quick news that I wanted to tell you. We passed 10,000 subscribers today. And I am just, I am amazed more and more every day at how fast this channel is growing. And, I have the greatest subscribers on all of YouTube. I don't get any nasty comments, the thumbs down thing and all that kind of stuff, all the argumentative comments and so forth. This is such a great atmosphere. I'm having so much fun doing this. I'm glad that you people are along with me doing this. And I just can't tell you how much I appreciate you all so much. So come stop over at the forums. We have over 5,000 members there now on the forums, and a couple thousand posts and hundreds of topics and downloads. There's all kinds. It's a wealth of information in the forum. We're building the best forum on the internet for hobbies. So come visit us over there. Don't forget my Instagram, Louisiana Hobby Guy. Come follow me over there. Because, a lot of people requested it, so I set it up last week, and I'm still only at like 600 or so followers. But if you follow me on Instagram, you're going to get behind-the-scenes photos, things like that. You'll see exactly what I'm doing day to day, because I'm going to make it a habit to post on there, at least once or twice every single day, so you can see what's going on here in the shop. And don't forget, all these links are going to be down below in the description. So everything that I talk about in all of my videos from now on, I'm going to make sure all of the links to the things that I talk about are down below. You just click Show More, and you'll see everything down there. And I'm also going to start putting timestamps because a lot of people don't want to see the whole video. They might just want to learn a specific function, and that's okay too. So there you go. Now, you might also be wondering, hey, what am I going to do with this serial number thing? And let me tell you, the first time I got a request for this, I was like, okay, this is something I'm going to have to go learn on Lightburn's website, and I'll put that link down below, and I'll never use again. And boy, was I wrong. I've used it over and over and over again. You don't realize how many things have serial numbers. And these little aluminum business cards are absolutely perfect for the job. So I started, the very first job that I got was a local boat manufacturer here in Lafitte, Louisiana. They don't make a whole lot of boats, but they wanted somebody to make their Coast Guard tags that they rivet onto the hull of the boat when they finish it. So I went ahead and I made a batch of them for them, and then they take like a little punch, and they punch in the numbers and letters onto the aluminum. So I just made a generic batch, with no numbers or anything like that. But that wasn't a variable text example. But all of a sudden, the next thing I know, the owner of that company said, hey, my wife works over at the school, and can you do their lockers? And I was like, sure, I could do the lockers. And then that job led to another job where I got a job at a shipyard from someone that she knew that bought a boat. I mean, it's all tied together. And I did all of the lockers at the shipyard. And now they're calling me back again, and they're telling me that they need their vehicle numbers done. And they're probably going to need equipment numbers because they're redoing the whole database. And, they want to have serial numbers on everything there so that they can put everything into a database and track everything, track the maintenance and so on. So, and then I've gotten, half a dozen other serial number jobs that sprung off from there. So you really don't know when this is going to come, when or if it'll come into play. But, I got to tell you, I was skeptical. I thought, hey, I got to learn something to do one job. And then I found out I really didn't need to do it because they were going to stamp the numbers in, but I'd already learned it. And then all of a sudden I got a locker number job, and it went on from there. And I've done more than a half a dozen jobs since then. And that's only about a year ago that I got the first job. So, word of mouth spreads fast when you do something like this. So, that's it, folks. Learn something new, stick it up there in that hard drive. Oh, I forgot something. Lola B said to me she misses my big, beautiful cone. Her words, not mine. So I'm going to take off my hat for Lola. And for the final few minutes of this video, and give her a little shout out and say hi. Thank you so much for that donation, Lola. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all of your support. Everyone who watches, everyone who subscribes, everyone who donates, all of my Patreon members. I just can't believe how fast this channel has grown. And like I said earlier, I went and did some research, and our little community here is the fastest growing laser YouTube channel on YouTube. And that just blows my mind. So I guess, you like being a part of my shop here. And you like going to somebody that reads the manual. But I'm not an expert at this, and I keep trying to tell you folks that. So now I've gotten about 30 people that they call me Yoda in the emails now. So you know what? I adopted the name over on the forums. Now I took the alias of Yoda. But it's just like with Lightburn Software, Jason, the owner. He is Oz, the man behind the curtain. And people call him the Great Oz. And he's like, no, I'm not the Great Oz, So, no, I'm not a Yoda, but you know what? So many people are calling me it. I'm going to use that alias over on the forums. What the heck? So here's the big bald noggin, Lola. And I want to thank you all so much for your dedication to the channel, for your comments down below, for watching and subscribing and donating and everything that you do. Because without you, this channel wouldn't be possible. So a big thank you to all of you. I'd love to shake your hand. I'd love to meet you all in person. I'm just having a wonderful time. I hope you're learning something, and I really appreciate you watching. So thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.